Hi, welcome to the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and today is part 7 of building Aurora. Okay? Somebody asked me, is that Aurora, Illinois? And I said, yeah. Not Aurora, Colorado, it's Aurora, Illinois. And the only thing I'm really missing, thinking about this, is a mid to late 70s American Motors or AMC Pacer. Okay? And some people, at least in my age group, may understand why I would like that in Aurora. So anyway, let's move on. As you'll recall, I got 4 buildings at the Real Rails train show a couple weeks ago. And the flour mill was a full building, and you can see the top of it right there, and the annex I created from the truncated parts. And there are 3 other background buildings. When I say background buildings, they're not full buildings. They'll sit up against the backboard or flats, and allow for the perception of perspective, forced perspective, so to speak. And just over the top in this view, you'll see the American Hardware Supply building, home for Buffalo Tools. Okay, and that's the next one I want to address. So let me grab it and we'll take a look and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. So here we have it on the bench. And there's a couple other signs. It's got the American Hardware sign at the top. It's got the Buffalo Tools, Buffalo Industries there above the door. And it's got some other decals on there, Daily Planet, and a couple other things. Anyway, those are coming off. Thai Oriental Foods and the Bartlett buildings. Those are all coming off. All right. So, and it's been painted, the brick's been painted previously. It's a pre-owned building. And it looks like somebody made this background building from a full kit. And the reason I say that is on the back side, the back was actually cut at an angle. And I've gone ahead and evened it up some, and I still have some edging that I have to plumb up, so to speak. So, and then we need to put a floor in there to run our copper bus tape. Okay, and we'll put, you'll see how it's all blacked out. Again, I'll have to get the sander out and take off some of this black paint on the windows. And I don't care if the windows aren't clear. I'm not detailing the interior, but I do want, when the lights are on the layout, I want to be able to see the lighting in the building. I think that adds a lot of character to the layout. So we'll have probably 3 LEDs in the building itself, plus a 4th over the door on the outside. You'll see some wires right here, okay, because I've taken off the piping and replaced it with a green straw. That'll have to be painted up and black probably. And I've added a light. This is a red flashing LED bulb on the top of the water tower, okay. And then there's a section of roof that I'll have to correct as well. So that's what we need to accomplish with this building. And then of course, once we'll have all that done, I'll cut a piece of foam core board to fit snugly on the inside. Okay? And that way it'll be flush up to the background or other background flat buildings over where it's going to be sitting. Okay? So with that, stay tuned and we'll walk through the steps. So I've got the masonite floor cut. You'll notice the 2 notches on the ends. That is so that the copper tape, all right, can wrap from underneath to on top, so that I can solder in connections both underneath the floor and on top of the floor. And the floor will go in right here. Right, I will have to extend the water tower feeds. Some people may say, well, why don't I move the floor up one? Because of the way over on this end that it's not a window, it's actually a door to a fire escape. There isn't sufficient room inside for the masonite flooring and still have a support from the indentations on the side. Just trust me, I can't do it. So it's here on the first floor, simple enough to extend those leads. Then I will drop in 4 additional LEDs, 2 on top, 2 down below. And I've already put in the overhead over the door light. It's a 2mm warm white through the top, and should be perfect. I may have to put a shield on the outside so that the light's not blaring right at, but we'll see how that works out when I get it up and running, so to speak. The next thing, I gotta put the copper tape on, but then I have to come through and, like I say, sand off this black for the windows that I want light to permeate out through, diffuse light. And it won't be all of them. So I'll pick and choose what areas of the building will have workers actively working at night. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. I've got the floor cut out of masonite. The copper strips are attached and wrapped around through the notches from the underside to the overside, so that the LEDs can all be soldered on in place. We've got a vestibule light. We have 2 LEDs for the first floor, 2 LEDs for the next 2 floors, and we have a blinking red light that goes up into the water tower. And then, of course, we've got the plug-in lead for the layout for power. All right. As I say, the glazing has been cleaned up to allow light out of specific windows. And now all we need is the foam core cut. And maybe, well, I've got to attach the floor there, the masonite floor. And then maybe some black cardstock flooring for light bleed. But we'll cross that bridge if we come to it. The way these are made, there really shouldn't be, but we'll see. And so hang tight and I'll get after it. So the back's in. All right. Test it out, no light bleed. So all we have left is painting the straw that has the wire for the blinking red light in it. That pipe, we're going to paint it. We'll paint it a dark gray. And I've got to remove some of these decals, these 2 at least, and then weather it. So let's get after it. All right, so there it is. It's painted the pipe coming down out of the water tower, and the giving it a light dusting of gray. After all, it's across the street from the cement plant, and that light dusting of gray also helped to accent the mortar in the brick and tone down the glare or plastic look of those concrete columns. So a little gray wash, a little brown wash, lighting, and she's good to go. Let's see how she looks at night. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
There it is from the side. You notice that not all the windows allow show lights. Some of the factory is shut down at night, and other rooms are still lit and go into town. Let's take a look at the front if we can. There we go. Now you can see it between the Hoff Cement to the left and the King Midas flower on the right. You can see the hardware supply building behind those. It's easy to tell with the blinking red light on the water tower. With that, I want to thank you for joining us at the Retirement Railroad. I believe this is part 7 of building Aurora for the American Hardware Supply. And fairly easy kit bash. Kit itself cost me $7. I got $2 or $3 in LEDs and some foam core in it, so fits right in. Really happy with it. So, with that, I want to thank you for joining me here at the Retirement Railroad Matinee Modeling Tip of the Day. I'm Steve, and y'all have a great day. Bye now.